Okay, if you are ready to grow big and you want to have a thriving lash career, I recommend doing that by taking calculated, detailed steps that really make sure that you have a strong foundation. My name is Reagan Ashley, and I am a beauty business consultant, and I'm also a lash educator. And my approach is very meticulous and hands on, and I try my best to make sure that every single thing that I do for people that work with me is customized to fit your needs to make sure that you can get the most out of all the knowledge and skills and tips that you're able to get from me. So, if you're interested in lashes, doing lashes, and becoming a money making lash artist, you are in the right place. I love this. I want to start today with this presentation on the lash basic fundamentals. So, these are fundamentals that every single lash artist should know. They are super important to master, and if you do master them, you'll be able to attract elite clients. These are the types of clients that we all want, the ones that can afford, a no-show fee and it's nothing to them. The ones that are loyal to you because not only do they like your personality, they know that your service is unmatched and they won't be able to get it anywhere else. My ultimate goal is to really empower you to have a business that is thriving in this lash industry, okay? And now, if you're ready, let's just jump right in. So just a heads up, this lesson is copyrighted. So if you'd like to use anything in this lesson that you learned today, just send me an email. I love being able to help people. I do like to also have credit though for the work that I do. And I'd also like to let you know that this presentation does not take the place of an in-person training. And I highly recommend that you do take an in-person training. This presentation today is supposed to get you on the tarmac, but it's up to you to really build on the foundations that you learned today, actually practice them, put them into work, and take off. So, a little bit about me. Once again, my name is Reagan Ashley. I am the CEO of Refined Artistry in Solana Beach. I have been a lash artist in the lash industry for quite some time. I have serviced hundreds of clients. I have had a really high client retention rate. I've led a team. I have a very highly rated in person training. And last year, I actually hit my highest year in revenue working the least amount of hours per week at around 23 to 25 hours a week. And I can show you guys how to do all that too. But today we're going to start with the fundamentals. So let's get started. If you want to have the type of lash career that is similar to any of the things that you saw in that last slide, if you want to make over six figures, if you don't want to work 40 hours a week, if you want clients that can't help but to keep coming back to you, if you want those things, then these are the basics that will get you there. They might seem a little bit simple, but that is the point. They are really a part of the strong foundation that you want to build, and they're so, so important. So today we're going to go over sanitation and infection control, which is probably the most important thing. Then we're also going to go over tools that you'll need to learn how to do lashes. We're going to keep this pretty simple because I really want you to focus on your techniques and learning the skills. And I want you to realize and be able to see that all of this can be done efficiently and affordably and with intention. So we don't need a ton of stuff. We're also going to go over how to apply the extensions. And then lastly, I'm going to give you some steps that you can use to really jumpstart and get going. Sanitation and infection control is probably the most important thing when it comes to keeping our clients safe and comfortable, and when it comes to keeping us safe as well. I mean, we are only going to be as good as our reputation allows us to be, right? So you don't want to be the lash artist that doesn't clean their tools, okay? Or is suspected of not cleaning their tools. So the number one thing with sanitation and disinfection and infection control is going to always be hand washing, making sure that you wash your hands vigorously in warm soapy water with antibacterial soap for at least 20 seconds every single time. You want to do this before and after every single client. If you have a client, you finish and you start doing some errands around or stop and take a break and do things or touching your phone and stuff, you still want to make sure that you wash your hands again before the next service. A great tip also is to make sure that your clients see you doing this. If your clients see you washing your hands and disinfecting things and wiping off tools and doorknobs and whatnot, they're going to have a lot more confidence in you, and it's just going to be an extra boost and more value for them to know that they're in really, really good hands and that you care about this stuff. So when it comes to our tools, different locations, countries, states have different regulations on how they want you to clean your tools. Here I'm in the US, I am in Solana Beach, California, and we have to use a hospital grade disinfectant. It's called Barbicide. It is a virucidal, germicidal, fungicidal, so it kills funguses, viruses, and bacteria. What you want to do is you take your tools, you want to wash them in really warm soapy water, again using antibacterial soap. Before you wash them, you always want to double check them though to make sure that there's no debris on them. There's no lash adhesive or something stuck to them. If there is, you want to make sure that you remove it first. After you do that, you're going to wash them in the warm soapy water, and then you're going to submerge them into your Barbicide solution. So the Barbicide bottles, super affordable. You can find them at beauty supply stores or online. And on the back of it, there is a ratio directions of how to dilute the solution into water so that you can use it to disinfect your tools. So with the Barbicide, you disinfect your tools by submerging them completely after you've washed them, and then you want to let them sit for 10 minutes at least. So after they sit for 10 minutes, you can take them out, you rinse them off, and you put them in a protected space that's just designated to your clean tools so that they can dry if you don't hand dry them. So after they are dry, you want to make sure that they are always kept in a clean, closed container, that nothing else is allowed to go inside. I always like to take the second extra step with my tools and my tweezers, and I like to sometimes wipe them off with disinfecting wipes, like a Cavicide wipe, which is a hospital grade wipe, or I will take my tools and I will spray them with a bottle of isopropyl alcohol, 70% that I have. And usually I'll spray that and the alcohol will evaporate on its own. And I'll do that before I use my tools and my tweezers or whatever. So those are just some extra precautions that you can add to make sure that you're being super, super careful and safe. There is a training on the Barbicide website, and I think it might be free, and it shows you about disinfection control and how to use the Barbicide. I recommend that you take that course because it is free. You will learn a couple things, and also you'll have a certification that you can put on your resume. And we love to always like just have extra skills and things that we can put on our resume so we can keep growing. Also, speaking of certifications, OSHA has a bloodborne pathogens training. I think that we all should be required to take that, especially us estheticians, because we do deal with bodily fluids and our clients' mucous membranes. We deal so closely to their eye area. Sometimes their eyes tear up. And I think that it's really important to take that course, even if it's not required where you live. It'll really teach you how to use universal precautions on everyone, which will ultimately make your clients' experience a lot safer as well as yours. And you'll really be able to take that into pretty much any job and any place in your life for the rest of your life, and you'll have another certification. So now that we've talked about how to sanitize or disinfect the tools that we will be using, we're going to talk about the tools that we will be using to start practicing.
Here are all the tools that you'll need to get started. Remember, we're learning the basics, so we're just focusing on the basic tools to really start learning the basic fundamentals. So this way we can start efficiently and you can really get going in your lash journey. So we're going to need Barbicide, which we just talked about. You're going to need 2 tweezers. One is going to be straight, one's going to be curved. We're going to use tape. For this practice, we're going to use the 3M micropore tape. In my lash course, I go over other different types of tapes and how to use them, but the micropore tape is great for starting. It has a lot of different uses.